everyone, and welcome to CCA's Medical Minute podcast, sponsored by Kroger Health. This is episode 43, and joining me today is Luke Barrett. Luke is a medical exercise specialist. He's from the Cincinnati area, but he lives in New York City, and he has started a fitness program that kind of taps into the needs of those who may have been diagnosed or going through some certain medical conditions that might be a little bit limiting you from doing some physical fitness. We're going to talk to Luke about that coming up. Also, my co-host for today is our Director of Precision Oncology, Andy Guinea-Gundo. Andy, it's good to have you with me today as well.
Good to be here. Good to be here.
We want to get right on in this, and we're going to start doing some heavy hitting right now, but we're going to find out about healthy hitting with you, Luke. Tell us all about the healthy hitting program.
Okay, so I've been running this informally for a long time now here in New York City. My main demographic, I've worked with a lot of people who have gone through diagnosis, treatments, work with neurological disorders, Parkinson's, one of my main programs, cancer, and now kind of formalizing it more, kind of pushing out the new brand, Healthy Hitting. And we use primarily boxing and martial arts as our main tool for working out. Again, no contact, nothing dangerous, not in a violent way, just from the training aspect. The fitness standpoint, it's been incredibly beneficial for balance, cardiovascular capacity, mobility, range of motion improvement, reaction times. So it's and we do more than that. We do strength, we do stretching, we do it's a full-fledged class just with the kind of onus on martial arts. And
I love that. Yeah. I love that because Andy and I were talking earlier, and Andy, you were talking about the benefits, of course, from the clinical standpoint. I think there are numerous benefits to it.
For sure. I work a lot with Dr. Jazzy and Dr. Lemon for sure, but something that Dr. Jazzy says with every single patient, without fail, is that exercise is anti-cancer therapy. I like this idea of healthy hitting and the idea of boxing and martial arts, in the fighting piece, because our patients are always fighting out there. So
that's right.
I like that piece.
And it's something, what I know as a cancer survivor and someone that really truly believes in being physically fit. I know that sometimes it's not always that easy when you're going through like a cancer diagnosis or perhaps other types of diagnosis. You say you work with folks that are with Parkinson's. And so what are some of the things that you are trying to show them or how are you helping them through this program?
Yeah, well, it's definitely not easy, but it's extra important. It's it's not just that get off work and want to go lose a few pounds. This is an absolute exercise is your prescription. This is movement is medicine, as we always say. So train like your life depends on it, and for many people it does after a diagnosis like this. So we've seen great improvements, like I said, in balance, decreasing falls, and don't be intimidated. It's geared towards this demographic. We go at your own pace. We have full workouts for people in chairs, people with walkers, and the whole point is kind of fighting for your own health rather than as you mentioned earlier, being Lance Armstrong.
Exactly. And one of the things that I think is so great about this program, we mentioned that you're in New York, but this is virtual. You can be anywhere and you can tap into this.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I run my in-person classes in New York, but we have a virtual program, so we have live virtual classes, and with the launching of the Healthy Hitting, we're going to do kind of a Rolodex of video options that you can do anytime, any place, limited equipment required, limited space is okay. So therefore, no excuses.
No excuses, right? And also, Andy, we mentioned, all of the benefits, like some of the chronic, illnesses come with so many different types of side effects.
For sure.
And, even like with neuropathy. So we like to tell people you have to stay active.
Yeah. No, even if you just zero in specifically on cancer, like we focus here on cancer for sure. Really, honestly, if you did a little bit of research, every side effect that you see with anti-cancer treatment, be it nausea and vomiting, or we talk about this peripheral neuropathy, these taxanes, which breast cancer patients often get, and other patients often get, lung cancer patients often get, causes numbness and tingling in the hands or feet. But exercise helps nausea and vomiting. It helps this peripheral neuropathy piece. It helps fatigue, which sounds counterintuitive, but yet it actually helps fatigue. So even during therapy, certainly after chemotherapy and different therapies, exercise helps bring people back and helps maintain those things. So for sure, that exercise is medicine for sure.
Exercise is medicine. Luke, what does someone wanting to participate, what do they need? Do they need a mat? Do they need, boxing gloves? Do they need jump ropes? I mean, do they need anything?
Yeah, so I always say you don't actually need anything. So this is for everybody. You can do this, like I said, anytime, any place. The one piece of equipment I would recommend, and again, not required, would be some weights. You can be creative. You can use water bottles, soup cans. We have a guy in our class this morning who was using textbooks when we do the weights, but we do add a little bit of a strength portion because we know how important strength is to the body. We do add that in most of our classes. So when we do that portion, I do say, grab your weights. But other than that, some people do it on a yoga mat. Shoes are optional. Workout clothes, of course.
And they need their laptops, right? Because virtually they can tap into the different programs, and you have a new website that's coming up really soon as well.
Yep, healthyhitting.com, and we're going to have the videos there, the links to our live. We'll have live classes and as well as pre-recorded workouts. So either option for you. Live classes, you get more individual feedback. And
also, if someone wants to ask a question, like they're not sure if this is something for them, how will they be able to get in touch with you before your website even comes out?
They can email me at healthyhitting@gmail.com, and reach out anytime. Any questions?
Truthfully, I know there are so many benefits, Andy, of working out, being physical. And again, you like, this is a recipe. This is something that you say you really need to be able to really, get healthy again once you're going through some of these debilitating illnesses.
For sure. I mean, if my title is being the director of precision oncology, so I'm looking at genetics all the time, and we all fall different places from a genetic standpoint. Some of us are that Lance Armstrong or Joe Burrow, who's they're physically gifted. We will never be that. I will never be Joe Burrow. But we are where we are. So if I'm in a wheelchair, Luke and I were talking earlier, and you can do these workouts from a wheelchair. I think that's amazing. You really are working from where you are. And so whether or not you're physically gifted or you've been beat up by chemotherapy, exercise, makes it all better.
Yeah, and we really are just pushing staying active, right, Luke? And so, once again, tell the folks, really why this is so important for them to really just kind of jump on in and keep their bodies moving. Yeah,
well, one great example is during COVID shutdowns, I actually saw firsthand, and we hear the science all the time, but seeing with a lot of my clients, both in person or this is before we started virtual. That's what actually inspired the virtual programs. Saw a huge regression in a lot of people's health. Falls increased. Total range of motion increased. People sitting down a lot more. So it just kind of reminds you, in activity, you can lose a lot of muscle mass real fast, a lot of range of motion real fast. That's where pain, stiffness, poor posture.
So that's where healthy hitting really comes in. This is something that they can do for themselves.
Yeah, super important to stay active and to really fight back and fight for your health. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, we've got to fight for your health. Thank you, Luke, so much for being here. And thank you, Andy, as well. For all of you at home, of course, we're going to be back here next week with another episode of Medical Minute. So be sure to share this one and subscribe if you haven't already done so. And check out Luke with the healthy hitting, because you know what? You've got to do something good for your body just to keep it moving. Thanks, and we'll see you again next week.